There is a moment that all of us who love our dogs deeply fear, that final instant, when the breath stops and the body stills. But what really happens at that very moment? What does our four-legged companion experience when they cross the line between this world and the next? Edgar Casey was categorical in his psychic readings. Death is not an abrupt end, but a smooth transition. For dogs, that passage happens even more gently than for humans. Why? Because animals do not carry the weight of ego, existential fear, or limiting beliefs about death that we humans accumulate over the course of life. They simply allow the process to unfold. In the final instant, a dog's consciousness does not extinguish. It expands. Casey described that moment as a gentle awakening, much like waking from a deep sleep into a luminous morning. The physical pain that may have accompanied the animal in its last days or hours disappears instantaneously. There is no more diseased body, no weary heart, no unresponsive joints. There is only a sensation of absolute lightness. During physical life, the dog's perception is filtered through the senses of the body. They see, smell, hear, and feel through biological receptors. But at the moment of transition, those filters fall away. Consciousness is freed, and, suddenly, the dog perceives dimensions of reality that have always been there, but were invisible to the physical eyes. It is as if someone turned on all the lights in a house you've always inhabited in darkness. Casey revealed something deeply comforting. At the exact moment of death, dogs feel no fear. Fear is an emotion that only exists when there is attachment to the body and to the ego. Animals, in their natural wisdom, do not cling to the physical form in the same way we do. They live fully in the present, and when the moment to depart arrives, they simply go ahead. There is an innate trust, a deep knowing that all is well. But what about the caretaker? Does the dog feel our pain at that moment? Yes, it does. The emotional connection between you does not break with the death of the body. In the first seconds after transition, the dog is still very close to the physical plane, as if standing at the exit door, glancing back one last time. It perceives your suffering, your pain, your tears. And something remarkable happens. The dog feels an impulse to comfort you, even from the other side. A sense of peace that defies logical explanation, given the pain of the moment. Casey explained that this is not imagination. It is the dog, in its first conscious act after leaving the body, sending a wave of love and tranquility to its human. It is as if it is saying, "I am okay. Do not suffer for me." The transition itself lasts only a few seconds in earthly time, but for the dog's consciousness, it may seem longer or even timeless. There is no rushing in the spiritual realm. The animal experiences a peace that transcends anything it felt during life. It is a peace that does not depend on external circumstances, on being beside you in bed, or on receiving affection. It is a peace that arises from recognizing, even if non-verbally or non-conceptually, that its essence was never truly bound to the body. What we need to understand now is this. When your dog closes its eyes for the last time in this world, it is not entering darkness, it is entering light. The pain is gone. Fear does not exist. And the journey that is only beginning is more beautiful than we can imagine. The death of the physical body is only the end of a chapter, not the whole book. So what happens next? Your dog has just left the physical body, experienced that profound relief, that absolute lightness. And now, where does it awaken? In what kind of place? And more importantly, is it confused, disoriented, or is there an immediate clarity about what occurred? Edgar Casey was very specific about this. The first moments in the astral plane vary from animal to animal, but follow a general pattern. And that pattern depends on a crucial factor, how the dog's earthly life was, and especially how its death was. A dog that passed naturally, in peace, surrounded by love, generally experiences a smooth and clear transition. It awakens in the astral plane with full awareness that something changed, but without panic or disorientation. It is like waking in a room different from the one you fell asleep in, yet feeling that you are exactly where you should be. There is a sense of familiarity, though the environment is entirely new. Now, a dog that died traumatically, suddenly, or with great suffering, may experience some initial confusion. Casey explained that this is not suffering in the sense we understand, but a kind of adjustment of consciousness. Suddenly, someone increases the brightness to maximum. Your eyes take a few seconds to adjust. It is something like that. The animal's consciousness needs to calibrate to the new vibrational frequency of the astral plane, but this confusion, when present, lasts very briefly, minutes, perhaps hours in earthly time, because in the astral plane, time does not function as it does here. And there is something fundamental that accelerates this adjustment process: the presence of other beings. The astral plane where dogs awaken is not a dark void or an abstract space without form. According to Casey, it is an environment that reflects the animal's consciousness. For a dog, that means a place that feels natural, nurturing, familiar. The first thing the dog perceives is that its body functions differently. It attempts to move and discovers there are no longer limitations. That elderly dog who could barely walk in its last months of life suddenly can run again. The paws respond instantly. There is no joint pain, no fatigue. A dog that had lost sight or hearing finds it can perceive everything with clarity greater than in its youth. This generates a kind of immediate joy. Casey mentioned that animals feel a spontaneous euphoria in the first moments after death, simply by rediscovering the fullness of their capacities. It is as if they are debuting a new, better, more responsive body. And that body is not constrained by the physical laws we know. The dog can move by thought. Do you want to be in a particular place? Just think, and you are there. But here is the most touching detail. In those first moments, many dogs try to return. Not because the astral plane is bad or frightening, but because the connection to you is still very strong. They think of you and instantly find themselves back in the physical environment where you were. This explains why so many people feel the presence of the animal right after its death.